Hello, everybody. Welcome. We'll get started in a couple minutes here. Hello, everybody. So, if you're here early, grab something to drink, maybe a pen and paper, or if you want to open a Google Doc or a sticky note on your computer to take notes. This video will also be up so you can return to it later if you have anything that you want to refer back to. We're just going to hang out a couple minutes while people are trickling in. This is a really great training. It will help you get a lot of clients, so I want to make sure that as many agents can be on this as possible. If you're here early, let me know if you did anything fun this weekend. Any open houses? Did you have any showings with clients? Did you hang out with any friends or family? I had a few showings. They were nice. No bites, but the market is pretty crazy here, so even putting in offers is, you never know. If you're just coming in now, we're going to start in a couple of minutes, so grab something to take notes with. And get ready to learn all there is to know about email marketing for real estate agents. This is a really, really good one. Hello, Erica. Hello, Arthur. Hello, everyone. If you're here and you want to say hi, let us know. We're going to get started in just a couple minutes. Hey, Portia, thanks for joining us. We're going to get started in just a few minutes. And we're going to talk about email marketing for real estate agents. So just a little background about myself. If you're wondering who is this girl teaching this class about email marketing, what does she even know? Before I got my real estate license, I am a realtor as well. I'm in Austin, Texas. And before I got my real estate license, I actually ran my own marketing agency and I focused on email marketing. And I worked with mostly e-commerce brands, so physical products, and helping them with email marketing. But a lot of the strategies are, a lot of the strategies that I used for them, even though it's a totally different kind of business, really apply to the real estate world. And I think email marketing is one of the most untapped resources in any business because it's amazing and you can turn it on so it does it automatically for you. And then it can just be getting you clients while you're busy hanging out with your friends or going to open houses or working with your other clients. And it's really awesome. So we're going to go over the basics of email marketing today for real estate agents. And maybe we'll do more trainings later on about, going more into the depths of email marketing for real estate agents. So if you're just hopping on now, we're going to get started in a minute or two. If you have any specific questions about email marketing, this is live, so I'm here. If you want to put your question in the chat, I can answer it. We do have a whole presentation to go through But it's totally interactive, so if you have any questions or comments throughout it, I will be here to answer them all and help you set up your email marketing so you can have a super successful real estate career. All right, so those of you on this, I'm just curious, do you have anything set up for your email marketing already? I do. My brokerage gives us free access to KV Core, so that's what I have set up. I know a lot of other brokerages use KV Core. I'm just wondering if you guys already have something set up. All right. Okay, we're going to dive in. So welcome everybody. This is email marketing for real estate agents. We're going to begin with the very basics. So the difference between regular emails and email marketing. So regular email is just this. Hey Bob, I'd be happy to show you 123 Main Street. How about Saturday afternoon? You know, you're just interacting with your clients or your prospective clients, talking about real estate. It's a live conversation, and it's very specific to the person. Email marketing is automated, and you can send it out to lots of people at once. So an example of this would be an email that's like, hey Bob, I know you're not quite ready to sell yet, so here are a few tips to prepare your house. And, you know, you can send that to Bob and Tom and Joe and Adam and Rachel and everyone. And you write one email, but you can send it to lots of people. And there are lots and lots of benefits of that. So we're going to go over that now. Besides saving you lots of time, because you can set it up once and then it runs automatically, there are plenty of other benefits of email marketing. So it keeps you staying top of mind in terms of referrals and direct business. If you're communicating with someone once a month, they remember who you are, they remember that you're a real estate agent, and then if they know of anyone who wants to buy or sell, or if they themselves want to buy or sell, you will be the first person that they think of. You might think, oh, it's obvious, I already told them once that I'm a real estate agent, but these people have their own lives, they're busy doing all of their things, and just because your business is top of your mind doesn't mean that it's the top of everyone else's mind. How many random people have you met in your life once and they told you what they do for a living, but then you forgot? So it's good to just stay on their radars. The second benefit of email marketing is that it establishes you as the expert. I'm going to go over different kinds of email marketing and different things to put in your content, but similar to anything that you're posting on social media, if you share tips and tricks and, you know, insights into real estate and the real estate market in your city, then people will be like, wow, that person really knows real estate. When I'm ready, I definitely want to go with them because I can tell that they really know what they're talking about. And the third main benefit is that it builds a relationship. And as you know, this is a relationship business. If they hire you as a real estate agent, they are hiring you for one of the biggest decisions of their whole life. And they want to make sure, you know, that there's a friendship there, that they trust you, that they like you, that they know you. So even though the email isn't like the first kind where it's just like, hey Bob, how's it going? What are you doing this weekend? It's still building that relationship with that person, and they're seeing your name in their inbox. And that, you know, if in some of the emails you tell them personal things about yourself, they feel like they're getting to know you. If you ask them to respond to the emails, you're creating a correspondence. So let me know if this is making sense. Got it in the chat if this makes sense, because like I said, I have a very long background with email marketing, and it makes sense to me. These three benefits: staying top of mind, establishing yourself as the expert, and building a relationship. And all of these things, if done over time and consistently, eventually this can lead to way more clients, either directly through your list or through referrals. So we're going to go over some of the email marketing keywords. Okay, subscribers. That is the people who have chosen to receive marketing emails from you. So maybe you've heard people talk about how many subscribers they have. There are subscribers on this YouTube channel. It basically means maybe if you are a subscriber of this YouTube channel, you got a notification when this video went live. And it's the same thing with an email subscriber. It means that person has signed up for your email list, which means any automated email that you send out, they will get it. And another word for that is list. So the list is who is your email subscribers. Those can kind of be used interchangeably. In the email marketing world, most people refer to them as your list. The subject line is the part of the email that you read before you see the full email. This is the most important piece of the email marketing, because if no one opens your email, it doesn't matter what's inside. You know what I mean? You could have an email that says, respond to this email and you'll win $1 million. But if you never open that email, you'll never know to respond. So the subject line is the most important part, because that's kind of the first gate that you need to get through. So we're going to go more into details on the subject line. But right now, just know that it's basically kind of a preview, but it shows up bold in your inbox. So that's what catches people's eyes. That's what people decide. I'm sure you get tons of emails every day that you don't open, and it's probably based on the subject line, because it wasn't catchy enough, or it didn't make you curious enough to open it or interested enough. So the subject line is the most important. The pre-header or the preview text is that little text after it. It's not in bold, and it's kind of a preview of the email. But you can also set it up so you can customize it. So if you are just sending an email, usually the preview text is just a couple of the lines from the email that they show as a preview. But with a lot of email marketing softwares, CRM systems, you can edit the preview. So it can kind of act along with your subject line to be double catchy, so people can understand it and get enticed and want to open it. So spam is really bad for email marketing, because it means that if it goes to their spam folder, they won't see it. Everyone here probably has a spam folder. You probably never even look at it. And a lot of email inboxes will guess who's in spam and automatically put it in there. So if you haven't ever received an email from this person before, it will automatically go there, and then they'll never see it. So there are a few things that you can do so that your emails don't go to spam. And the most important thing is make sure that people opt in to your email list, that they volunteer to sign up to get emails from you. You should never buy lists of people and send them spam emails, because it will go to their spam folder and most people won't even read it. And it's not very nice also. People feel a lot of protection, I guess, over their email inbox. We're all getting tons of emails every single day, and people will be mad if they get an email and they don't know you and they didn't sign up for it, and then it'll go to spam and they won't even see it, or they'll unsubscribe and they'll be pretty upset, and then they definitely won't hire you as a realtor. So we want to stay away from spam. All right, open rate is the percentage of people who open your email. Once you get a little bit more into email marketing, there will be a lot of statistics that you want to look at to make sure that you're optimizing your email marketing campaigns, meaning that you're getting the most out of it that you can. So open rate is one of those numbers that we look at, because like I said with the subject line, if your list, I'm going to use these vocab words, if your list has 100 subscribers on it and only one person opens it, then your open rate is 1%. Does that make sense? And that's not super high, because that means 99% of the people that you're sending it to aren't opening it. So then maybe you want to play around with the subject line and try to make it a little more interesting to get more people to open it. Because like I said with subject line, the first gate you got to get through is first to get them to open the email. So open rate is really important. But the click-through rate is also important because that is the percentage of people who click a link in your email. So for example, if you send out an email and say, hey, I have an open house this weekend, click this link for more information, the click-through rate would be the percentage of those people who actually clicked that link. Because I'm sure, think about your daily life, you get emails and there are links in them and you don't click them, which is fine if you read it and got the information. But for you as a real estate agent and using email marketing for your real estate business, you're going to want to have as high of an open rate and a click-through rate as possible. So again, let's say your list is 100 people, you have 100 subscribers on your list, and now let's say 50 people open it. That's a 50% open rate. And if 25% or if 25 people click on the links in the email, that's a 50% click-through rate because only 50 people opened it in the first place. And the bounce rate is the percentage of the emails that never made it to the inbox. Either it went straight to spam or it got blocked. There are a few things. And that's why you got to be careful and make sure that people sign up voluntarily for your emails so that it goes to their inbox and then they're opening it. Conversion rate is the percentage of people who followed the call to action in your email, such as schedule a walkthrough, or if your call to action is, hey, there's an open house this weekend, come to it. You do have a link, that would be the click-through rate, but conversion is how many people from your email list actually showed up to the open house. Double opt-ins is when you ask subscribers to confirm that they want to be on your email list. Some CRMs will do this automatically for you. It helps keep your numbers up so they don't go to spam, because email providers want to make sure that you're getting what you want, and they don't want to upset their users by having lots of spam emails in it. So if you ask your subscribers to confirm, then your emails will go to their inbox. Okay, just 2 more vocab and then we're going to go into some tips. So an email campaign is a single email or a series of emails designed to achieve a certain goal. With real estate, there's a lot of goals. I'm going to go over them. This example is just to attend an open house. So you can have an email campaign for buyers to, maybe they're not ready to buy yet, but you have a campaign to keep them engaged. And then ultimately, the goal of the campaign is to have them be a buyer with you. You can also have a seller campaign, which is the same thing. Maybe they're not really ready to sell today, but if you keep them engaged with an automatic email campaign, then you stay top of mind. All of those benefits that we talked about up here, stay top of mind, establish yourself as the expert. You're still building the relationship and building trust with them. And then when they are ready, you're the real estate agent that they want to hire. And the last keyword for now is a landing page. That's the website that you would link to in the email that it would lead to, that they would land on. That's why it's called a landing page. So if you have a landing page and it says that maybe the address of the open house, or you have a landing page and it has maybe a book a call or your phone number or something, a different call to action. All right, so now that we've gone over the basics of email marketing, and by the way, let me know if you have any questions. Always, I'm looking at the chat. This is live, so if you have any questions, let me know. I know I'm going over a lot of information. And remember, you don't have to remember every piece of information. You just need to get the overall gist of email marketing, because something is better than nothing. Don't get overwhelmed and say, oh, I have to build out 5 different email campaigns, otherwise it won't work. Just get started. Any step is a step in the right direction. You'll learn more from actually playing around with it and testing it and sending out emails and seeing which emails get opened and which emails don't get opened than, you could read 100 books about email marketing or watch 15 of these webinars. But the best thing to do is to take action and to get started. So here are some general tips about email marketing to help you get more clients for your real estate business. Write like you are writing to a friend. So this is a relationship business, and even though you're writing one email that's going to get sent out to many people, people want to feel like they're getting just one email. So for an example of this is there's a way on most email CRMs and platforms and softwares where you can say something like this, first name. And this is code that will tell your email provider or software or whatever that instead of, when you receive the email, instead of saying, hey, first name, it will say, hey, Melanie. So then it really feels like it is personal. And there are a few, depending on the information that you get from them when they sign up for your list, if you know their first name, their last name, your city, you can say things like, how are things over in city? If you have that information, I mean, all of you probably work in just one city, so you would just say the city that you live in, but there are a lot of ways to make it really personal. But if you're not doing it this way through a software that has this capability, you can just say like, hey there, like make it seem conversational, something that you would actually say to a friend. And a little tip for this, write this down, is if it helps you while you're writing it, think of one specific person in your head that you are writing to. And imagine like you're just writing one email to that person. And then when you're finished, you can look at it with a fresh set of eyes and say, okay, does this make sense to send it to a lot of people? Because you can kind of tell, you can feel when the emails feel really cold and robotic versus when it's like, hey, how's it going? The market is crazy right now, et cetera, et cetera. So I talked a little bit about call to actions, but only include one within each email. I know it can be tempting to be like, hey, I have an open house this weekend, and I have a YouTube channel, and follow me on Instagram, and like my business page on Facebook, and while you're at it, do you have any referrals for me? But that can be really overwhelming. First of all, it feels really like you're asking for a lot, but mostly it's too much information at once. If it's very clear, if there's only one call to action, they're more likely to do it because the whole email is just talking about that one thing. But if there's a lot, then they're like, well, which one should I do? And then they end up just doing none of them. Adding a PS is a really great sneaky way to make your emails more valuable, and it's on a subconscious level, it's training people to read all the way to the end of your emails. So the PSs can be anything. I like to include a little joke in my PSs, or when I was doing e-commerce things, it's not as applicable to real estate, but I would do a coupon code in the PS so people know, wow, these emails are good all the way to the bottom. I'm always going to read every word. Because I don't know about you, but I'm guilty of this. When I get an email, I just kind of skim it, and that's it. But there are some emails that I'm like, I know these emails are really good, really value-packed. I'm going to read every single word. So your goal is to make your emails, super value-packed so your readers want to read them. So keep that in mind. What would your readers want to read? What could you put in them that makes them excited to open? So when they see your name in their inbox, we're like, oh, I'm busy right now, but I'm going to keep this email unread so I can come back to it at a time where I have more time. And like I talked about a few times, but it's super important, having a subject line is very, very important, because if no one opens your email, no one will read what's inside. So here are some tips for a good subject line. Use names. And like I said, look up for your specific email. If you have an email marketing software, see what it is. Some of them are like this, F name, or, it really depends. I like to do subject name. They're like, first name, quick question. That's a good one. Oops, quick question. Make sure this is going to be specific to your coding. If you just type it like this, if you just copy and paste this and your email software doesn't do it, it will literally just look like this, F name, and that's confusing. If you don't have that, you can just say this, quick question. That's a pretty popular email marketing, that's a pretty popular subject line. I like to write my subject in all lowercase because it looks natural. Again, remember when I said you want this, even though you and I know that this is automated and it's coming from a software, you want them to feel like you just typed that email just for them. So writing the question line or the subject line in all lowercase makes it seem more natural. Use emojis, same thing. Be careful with this because sometimes they don't show up. So I wouldn't use an emoji. This is the trick for emojis. If the sentence doesn't make sense without the emoji, don't do it. You know, so if your subject line is like looking for, and then it's a house emoji. But if for whatever reason the house emoji doesn't work, this is now the subject line and it doesn't work. So what I would say is like looking for houses and then house emoji here. Playful punctuation, multiple question marks or exclamation, like question mark, exclamation point, I like to do. Again, anything to make it feel natural and conversational, like you're building a friendship with this person. Time-sensitive words that will make people want to open it, like running out of time or, you know, Tuesday only or stuff like that, because you want to make them, tease their curiosity. Make them excited and interested so that they open the email. And call out your target audience. So you can say, young families will love this neighborhood, or Austin, you know, new to the Austin real estate market, stuff like that. So there are a couple of different kinds of automatic email campaigns. The first one and the easiest one, what I suggest all of you start with, you can do this today, even if you have no list, even if you have no email software, even if it's just you, is a newsletter. Because one, they're easy to do, and two, you can feel like it won't take as much of your energy to do it. So you can have your newsletter be every week or every month, and this is an email that you can just send out right now from your inbox. Fill it with news, so your latest listings, your upcoming events, the trends in your area, a recent blog post. You can repurpose your social media content. If you're getting fancy with Canva and you have a nice graphic, you can put it in your newsletter. So this is the easiest way to just keep yourself top of mind. And again, you know, establishing yourself as the authority and building that relationship with people. At the bottom, I would say, like, at the end of all of your newsletters, you can ask a question or invite engagement so people respond. Because your goal is also to build a relationship, and relationships are two ways. So if at the end of the newsletter you say, like, what do you think? What questions do you have? If you write a blog post about the best brunch restaurants in your city, and then you can say in the newsletter, hey, respond to this email and tell me your favorite brunch spot. Then you're inviting a conversation, and you can get to know that person, build a relationship with them. Then you're not just a one-sided newsletter. Does that make sense? So next we have the welcome email sequence. So the way to build your list, I'm going to skip to that part. The way to build your list is in a couple ways. So at your open house, you can have a sign-in. My CRM, KV Core, has an app for it, so I can just set it up on the iPad and people can sign in. Otherwise, you can put even a clipboard out and people can sign in and just write their name, and then you can manually update it. You can have an email opt-in on your website, which is basically just something that pops up and says, hey, do you want my newsletter? Do you want to stay up to date with all the trends going on in this housing market? Or you can offer something in exchange for the sign up. Like, do you want a free buyer's guide? Do you want a free, the top 10 mistakes sellers make? Something like that. You can make that a little ebook for them, or anything really, and offer it in exchange for when they sign up. Basically, it's about value. You want You want to tell people exactly what they're getting when they sign up for the list, because otherwise they won't. You got to make it valuable to them. So after they've signed up, then you have the welcome email sequence, which is usually just 1 to 3 emails, basically introducing you, who you are, also introducing the newsletter or the email list, saying, okay, you'll be getting an email once a week with the latest trends, or you'll be getting an email once a month, or whatever. I always, 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 in the first email, ask for replies. I like to say something like, this newsletter is for you, so please let me know how I can best help you. I read and reply to every email, so please take a minute and say hello. Oops. This does 2 things. One, it helps you know what kind of content to put in your newsletter emails, and it creates the conversation. It makes it 2 ways. It makes it, you're building the relationship with that specific subscriber. So, usually 1 to 3 emails, I say, hi, I'm Melanie. Maybe your background, your story. I've been a real estate agent for 3 years. I am in Memphis, and I love to work with first-time home buyers because that's my passion, And then the second email is just like, hey, did you see my first email? I wanted to welcome you again to this newsletter. Remember, I'll be sending these emails out once a week or, once a month, whatever. And I'm here to help you. So let me know. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm here for you. It can be as simple as that. And even though these are automated, at the very root of it, it's just a conversation between you and another person. So don't overthink it. Just be yourself and write the email like you would write it to an actual to an actual client that you have, or an actual person that you've had this real life conversation with. Another great one is open house and event announcements. So use this type of email to encourage your list to meet you in the real world at an open house or an event. I know a realtor who, it's a little tricky now with COVID, but they go to a coffee shop and they put up a little sign and it says, I'll buy you coffee or something, I forgot. I'll buy you coffee if you want to talk about real estate. So if you do that in person, that's a different event, and then you can send out an email to your list and say, hey, I'm going to be at this coffee shop on the corner of whatever and whatever on Friday at 2 p.m. See you there. Can't wait. So it's just a way to get more people to your events. If you've already worked with these people, you can have follow-up and referral requests. So I would wait after closing, because during closing it's super overwhelming. There's a million things going on. First of all, check in with them. How's it going? How do you like your new house? Or how is the new place that you moved into, etc., etc. And then politely ask them if they know anyone else looking to buy or sell. You can also use this to ask for testimonials. This is a good time to ask for testimonials because that's another great way to build your business, and just it's good to have those. So another thing, we're going to do buyer and seller follow-ups. This is for people who are not yet ready to work with you, but it keeps the line of communication open and builds the relationship. So for example, you can have, if you have an opt-in, remember to collect email addresses, and it's like a buyer's guide, but they're not ready to buy. Buying a house is a really big decision, and sometimes they're not yet ready. You start looking a couple months before you're actually ready to pull the trigger. So you can send emails about pre-approvals, about mortgage rates, about different neighborhoods in your city, things that you think would be helpful for someone who is interested in buying but not yet ready to buy. And then the same thing with sellers. And you can segment your list. And so only the people, you can separate them basically. So the buyers are on one side and the sellers are on another. And the email software will only send the buyer emails to the buyers and the seller emails to the sellers. So it's really cool what you can do with this. And you can set it up so it's all automatic. So anytime someone signs up for the seller's guide, they're getting emails about how to prepare your house to get ready to sell, why you should work with a realtor instead of trying to do it by yourself, different maybe interior design ideas. Again, remember, this is about adding value to your audience. Otherwise, they'll unsubscribe or they won't open your emails. That's worst case scenario. Best case scenario, the email is so good that they forward it to their friends, and then their friends are like, wow, this was so good, I want to work with them, or I want to subscribe to this email list because I want more emails just like this. So I know this is a lot. Here are just some content ideas. Again, don't overthink it. A lot of it is just about creating the conversation and being there, keeping your name in their inbox, and anything that's valuable to them, to the reader. So this could be repurposing your blog posts or your social media posts. I love doing this, especially if your social media followers are not the exact same people as your email list. There's no need to make it harder for yourself. I'm sure the posts that you put on social media, you put a lot of time and effort and thought into them, and you can reuse that. You can post what you posted on Instagram in an email and send that out to your list. That could be good for your newsletter. You can do neighborhood guides. So this is anything, from different, like the best brunch was an example I used earlier, or the best parks in the neighborhood, or, you can spotlight one neighborhood in your city and talk about all the things there. Again, this is really to establish yourself as the expert in your city and in the real estate market in your city. So with that, that's going to be local real estate market trends and tips. You can say things like the average sale price this week was blah, blah, blah. Or this, 1,013 homes went under contract this week. What do you think? Just some fun facts that show your audience that you know what you're talking about. If you have any listing announcements, open houses, virtual tours, stuff like that, that coffee shop idea, if you want to buy someone a cup of coffee to answer their real estate questions, let them know. And then, of course, client success stories. And this is another reason to collect testimonials so you can share them. Because sharing testimonials does something called social proof, which proves to your prospective clients that other people used you and liked you. It's the reason why Amazon reviews are so popular and Google reviews. People want to see that product, that restaurant, that anything has been used and enjoyed by other people, so they check for reviews. So when you share positive reviews about you and your real estate business, it really comforts people and gives them trust in you that you are an awesome real estate agent, which I know you're an awesome real estate agent, but you got to convince your prospective clients. So I know this was a lot. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me on Instagram. That is my handle, melanie.ginsberg.realtor. I check my Instagram every day, so if you just send me a message, I will be there. And I will be also on this YouTube channel. If you leave a comment on the video, I will check around and answer any questions. But remember that anything is better than nothing. So you don't have to do all of this at once. You don't need to set up 5 automated email sequences today. Just start building your list and start sending out your first newsletter. Can just be once every 3 months if that's what you want to do. Get in the habit of doing something, and then as you get more comfortable, you can build that habit, build it, and before you know it, your email list will be 10,000 people, and you'll have more clients than you know what to do with. So thank you everyone for joining. Good luck with your email marketing. Let me know if you have any questions. I'd love to connect with you on Instagram or on YouTube, and I will see you next time.